My name is Jola Josie, and I'm travelling around New Zealand in a house truck, reconnecting to my childhood roots. While I'm doing this, I'm making weekly videos and a documentary about the nomadic lifestyle, so join me on this journey by watching these weekly videos.
Wow, it's been a long time since I've put out a video. I just wanted to let you guys know the reason for me not putting out the videos. It's basically because I've been to 3 different festivals, and at these festivals there's been limited access to internet and signal. The festivals were Kiwiburn, Luminate and Splore, so there will be coming pictures and videos out from these different festivals. And also I wanted to share with you a bit of an experience that I've had just about a week and a half ago. I went to a place called Farewell Split, and there were whales that were stranded. A friend and I, we decided to go to Farewell Split, and if they didn't need our help they would just send us onwards. When we got there, it was too late, so we stayed the night and woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning the next day to hear or receive some more information whether or not the whales had restranded or not. During this time we were waiting for more information. We found soon after that there was 100 whales that had restranded themselves, and we got out to the beach as fast as we could, and after finding out and kind of recollecting myself and going through the emotions, I pulled myself together and looked around to see where they needed my help the most. I found out that I needed to go to the far end of the beach, right next to the waterfront. Ran down there and then looked after a whale by myself, which was maybe 5 meters long. And during this time, what I needed to do was first keep it hydrated, so putting water on it all the time, making sure that it didn't get sunburnt. And then once the water started to rise, I needed help to push the whale up so that the blowhole could still breathe, so that the whale could still breathe. Once the whale was upright, I then had to hold this whale by myself, upright so that it could breathe and hydrate it at the same time. At times it was really heavy, but I guess during these kind of experiences you just gather strength. Once the water started to rise, eventually it started to float, and it was just me and the whale. The whales reflect your emotions and how you are. So if you're stressed, the whale is stressed. If you're calm, the whale is calm. We also received the information that we had to try and get the whale to know the balance again of what was upright and what was down. So I stood there pushing this whale back the opposite direction to me, and it would slowly come back to me because it had been lying all night on that one side. So just stood there rocking this whale, and then the most spectacular moment was actually when some of the other whales had already started rejoining together, swimming around each other, and left the humans. And after a while, the whale that I was with, after being so calm and being just with me, I guess she found all her strength and she just left. And then there is no way of holding her back because they are really strong. And amongst all the sadness in the beginning, that was a really, really, really strong, great feeling to see this whale that I had cared for the last 5-6 hours beforehand actually be able to swim off. And then we basically were out in the water having a human chain to try and protect or keep the whales out in the water and not so that they wouldn't swim back into shore. And while we were doing that, another pod came in, and they were about 200 whales altogether. So just there we had 300 whales swimming around each other and around us, and that new pod managed to take 80 of the 120-ish that were swimming around when we first began, and took them out to sea. And then while we were there, the decision was made to take the lives to the 30 that didn't swim off with the 200, so that the 30 wouldn't call out for help to the other 280 that were out there. Then the next, or later in the afternoon when it was high tide again, we then had to find out whether or not any of the whales had restranded themselves. And out of those 280, there were actually 200 that restranded, which was a real shame. And for us, we just had to keep them hydrated as much as we could. And then, because the next high tide was at past 10 o'clock in the evening, we then had to leave the whales during daylight so that we knew we would stay safe. And that was probably the most difficult thing, because earlier that day I could actually see the whale that I had helped swim off, whereas this time we just needed to leave the whales as they were. So it was an amazing, horrifying, sad, but great experience to be with these whales. And even though it says on the media that there are no volunteers needed at the time, I would still recommend to go there if you've got the possibility, because just maybe they restrand themselves and they need that help. And throughout the days that we were there were fewer and fewer whales stranding themselves, which was a relief. And I really think that we were able to help at least a little bit. So that was a bit of an experience that I've had the last month that I wanted to share with you all. And yeah, I hope you are all really, really great as well, and that you are enjoying the videos I'm putting out. Now it will be more frequently again. It's just been so busy and difficult with the no reception and signal and all the festivals. So stay tuned for more, and I'll see you, you'll see me soon. See ya.